Okay, check 1 2. Check 1 2.
My balls are protected.
Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let me just move my body over here. Perfect.
But does Wolfletech actually have balls?
These are not the questions that I was prepared to answer for someone who is 5 years older than me.
Yay! Roll the intro.
Do
Do you not know the music?
I do. I just wanted to make my own. Anyways, welcome to Fluffed Up, a podcast for furries by furries, where my muscles are destroyed because I'm finally getting out and exercising.
I wear padding.
Padding doesn't help your muscles not hurt anymore.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
But at least it didn't wipe out and hurt my butt.
At least I can pull myself up a rope toe.
I hate you.
So we've been the snow has fallen. The artificial snow has been made. The skiing and snowboarding seasons of Wisconsin are starting to get into full swing, with most slopes starting to open, even somewhat, some fully.
We can actually go outside and do something in a safe manner? What?
Man, it's nice to just, go exercise. Go have some fun, yeeting yourself down a slope, having an adventure, doing something that isn't being so lazy that my insides, go nuts. And man, does it feel better now.
So that will, all of a sudden, louder. That's because Wolfletech doesn't want to have to fix that.
I thought it sounded fine.
Well, I'm looking at the level graph there, and we want to be at about a 6.
You want to be at about a 6.
Well, you know what? When we're both talking, we're both at 6s. So guess what? Yay, 666.
So this week's month's half month, whatever we do these at now, because it's hard to be consistent.
Whenever we can get to do them. The last time we did one was before the charity stream, so we can talk about that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's start off with that one. So we had planned for a while to do a a Twitch charity stream. So we were going to do an Extra Life stream, and we had it all planned and set up, and kind of had a basic rundown ready with a group of people. And then everything got worse, and me and Tech got sick, and we had to
move my real name there.
So we ended up moving it and recruiting a whole new group of people, which is a lot of my wonderful Twitch streaming group of Wolfletech, Kaiser, Labradorp, Hero, Solus, Relic. A lot of the furries that I regularly stream with all met up, and we did some games together, played for about 12 hours, and we raised...
We ended up going for 14 total because every time we hit our $1,000 goal, so we started with 2,000 as the goal.
Slammed that out of the park before 4 hours,
which bumped it up an hour. So we were going to be done, instead of at 11, it was 12. And then because we hit the next goal,
we were able to raise an even $3,000.
Which means we had to do until 1 a.m.
Which led to some wonderful milestones, such as Hero doing a one-chip challenge, me dressing Kylo in a maid's outfit, Wolfletech not sure what to do with life. It was absolutely crazy, and honestly way more successful than I thought it could ever have been.
You want to know what the worst part about that stream was?
What?
Wolfletech's VR chat hour.
Chewie
took a nap.
I needed a nap. I was like, you know the whole social vampire thing where you take energy from people talking around you and stuff.
Yeah, you stole all mine.
Yeah, I had all the energy, and then I was done. And then I like passed out for an hour and a half, and I was just like, I'm done. And we still had like 4 more hours to go, and I'm like, brain dead, not ready. I'm done.
See, and that's where like I started using like the webcam off my computer, being like, "Hey guys, la 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 la," Chewy in the background.
Man, I feel like we should have bought more energy drinks for that. We'll now know that for when we do the 12-hour one next year.
I mean, the 24-hour one.
Yes. May God save us all.
I mean, yeah, and we're already kind of planning for. Oh yeah, we're almost a month later from that.
Yeah, so we need to get the highlights out from that.
Hey, to be fair, the last 2 weeks, my computer has been in parts in my room.
Well, I mean, you know what'd be a neat stream from your phone is assembling your computer. I don't know, actually, if that'd be a cool stream. That's kind of up to you.
I could probably do that.
But we will be returning, and we may be scaling up production with it. That is something we have been discussing.
We're working on the logistics. What made it hard this year was mostly COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we initially planned this, we were hoping that things would kind of
chill out
by the end of summer. And then we were able to do it at one person's place and then have all the systems and the equipment, and we could just switch off between different hosts. But what happened in this sense was we ended up having to pretty much do a little bit of everything, and then we just kind of shared it off, and that's why you had to take a nap.
And we had other streamers also doing their streams promoting the same thing. So we kind of had it a bit more spread out than we were planning it to be. But we made it work, I think, as well as we could during COVID without, God tier setup and, hundreds of hours of pre-planning.
But yeah, so going in that, because I have a feeling I'm probably going to end up taking point for doing all the back-end planning.
It's really good, yeah.
Don't you yawn on thing. We still have a while to go with this podcast.
You talked about naps and after snowboarding all day. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, naps sound nice.
But yeah, the thing is, I will be looking for some support team members.
Yeah.
Anything from video editors to marketing to whatever. If you're interested in it, now keep in mind we're doing this for charities, so I can't really pay anybody. But if you have a charity bone in you and you want to help out, at Wolflatech, literally everywhere, message me, and I'm kind of interested in hearing what you want to say, or if there's anything that you want to participate in with the next future. Because Chewy and I have already discussed, we're going to have an 11-month out planning setup. So we're going to start the initial planning, go from there, figure out the logistics, and hopefully everyone's vaccinated by then.
God help us all.
But yeah, so with that was a massive charity stream. If you want to see it, I believe it's still on your Twitch.
It might be deleted by now.
We may need to download that.
You may want to. If you haven't downloaded, you may want to do it now.
Because I'm gonna need to maybe video that.
Yeah, because those disappear fast. It's still there, but they delete themselves, I think. Yeah, they delete themselves after.
We'll have to.
So let's see. This was done on October 21st, and it's expiring tomorrow. So 2 months. 2 months out, you can download.
So yeah, we'll get that downloaded, and we'll do the highlights and stuff for that. But yeah, I'm going through some of my Twitch stuff to make sure that everything with that works. Yeah. Anyway, going back to skiing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was still no snow by the time we did the stream, but now Little Swiss is open. All the hills are starting to open up all the runs. It's getting excited. We can actually utilize the coupon books I bought you.
I think we might have almost paid off our ski passes.
Oh yeah, those were I were expecting like first month no matter what.
See, what the issue was at
Well, you also have to keep in mind that like we figured out the bring a friend stuff.
Yeah.
So I paid it off even more.
Yeah, because you could bring friends. We get like 2 or something like that. So
I am
skiing
taking
has been-
applications for friends. If you want to come join us, you have to apply. You have to get approved. And guess what? Yay, we go skiing for $30.
Yeah. So
I'm
skiing.
sorry. That was just, oh my goodness.
Moving on from skiing as well with first ski planning. So we usually in February run an event called First Ski in Wisconsin where we host a event
Usually. Why do you say usually?
because this year is on the table just like everything else.
So, right, and this is, hi, I am Wolfletech. I am also the, what we quote-unquote call chairlift of the...
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I didn't realize that was your quote-unquote official title. I don't like that.
That's
I'm
because-
going to bully you.
Hey, camp chair is also a pun on its own self for the camp out.
That's it. You're getting bullied.
Hey, I expected it. Anyway, it's being discussed. The issue is Devil's Head literally just opened 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So we haven't been able to verify that their procedures are going to be good for COVID-19. Now, not going to lie, ski resorts have been doing really well with the stuff, except for some middle schoolers today at the ski hill. But I kind of expected that because they just seemed like they just were going to break the rules no matter what. Hi, I also work for a middle school, so I've got bias.
Wolfletech has a lot of bias.
But the thing is so with that, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. And there's been talks with it. Also, we're going to be communicating with Devil's Head about if we're able to hold it. So it's not canceled yet.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say is more than likely there will be some sort of event on that weekend. We're not sure if it's in person or an alternative event, but an event will occur. And we will talk more later on the dates and stuff, but yeah. Wolfletech is getting excited, but also nervous.
Speaking of things happening in the next year, so we have confirmation of both First Squared and what was the other one? For Apocalypse? For Apocalypse? Or is that
I don't know.
There's two cons, one being First Squared, another one I forget the exact name
Are you thinking
of.
further confusion?
Further
I don't know.
confusion. We'll be going digital this year and will not be having a in-person con until at least 2022.
Which is kind of upsetting because we just found out that there's a Mr. Beast burger literally right next to the First Squared Hotel.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally dating ourselves because that video came out yesterday, but yes.
Yeah.
So there's a, so...
You don't think I can't get this edited and posted tonight still?
That's fair. So it kind of sucks because First Square did happen this year, and I arguably say it was one of the best cons I've ever been to.
It was also the last con.
It's the last con we've ever been to, but like for something about it, we partied like it was going to be our last con, and everyone was partying like it was their last con, and we didn't know it at the time that was our last con for a long time.
So because COVID started happening, because Wolfletech is Wolfletech. Oh, a little chewy. Wolfletech is Wolfletech. The last First Ski, I was actually watching the COVID stuff, even before, because I knew that we were still going to pretty much have the event.
Yeah.
But there was already contingency planning for last year in case it peaked. And it didn't until later on after the event.
So First Ski happened on what? Was that the weekend after First Squared?
First weekend in February.
First weekend.
I have to double check.
So pretty much a month later after First Ski, quarantine was enacted.
It was a month and a half.
So, man, we really dodged a bullet on that one, getting all the fun in at the first part of 2020 and to suffer for the rest of it, eh? At least we got something. I guess that's the saving grace is we had something.
Well, and there was a little bit of a things suddenly changed, yes, but there was also a some of us knew that it was kind of occurring, and that's why I was watching it for Foursquare. A lot of event people were watching it. For First Ski, sorry.
It was all the talk.
Well, and we were gonna have, we had to cancel, and that was a weird cancellation too. Was, it's Rough Out.
Yeah.
Because that was gonna happen in March, but the weekend we were gonna do that. This is the thing of how quickly a lot of stuff happened. The weekend we were going to do that, the DNR literally canceled everything until literally the Thursday before the event.
Yeah.
And then we're like, do we just hold it? Do we cancel it? And then they extended it and it forced us to cancel, which we didn't even promote it at the time yet because of that. Actually, no, we did promote it and I did have to do refunds. I do remember that. For the actual camp out, we didn't even take tickets because we didn't know what the plan was. We ended up not having a camp out, and everyone just kind of did a remote camping event that day, and that's something similar to one of the 5 options we can do with Furski is some type of remote event. But there was commemorative badges just because we had the art pretty much done for the camp out.
Yeah, and that's always the issue with this is a lot of things got cut really short, and you can definitely feel it. Though with all the bad stuff, let's talk about some of the good stuff that's happened during 2020.
There's already, not gonna lie. Well, okay, so moving on towards the future, the camp out staff, I'm just gonna give a lot of praise to right now. The next year event is pretty much already completely planned.
Yeah, because we planned it already.
Because everyone's been at home. We've been working on it. The dates and stuff have not been fully set yet. However, who's on what site, which staff is doing what, who's bringing radios because we have enough hams on staff now that we can pre-plan that.
To be fair, I got all my events planned for last year, so I really don't need to worry too much about my events because I could just roll them over.
Yeah, because we're not sure what we're doing for It's Rough Out yet.
Yeah.
But the Wilderness Campout's already planned, assuming I don't have to cancel it.
Yeah, that's the nice, assuming.
That's the nice part right now is some cons have been able to plan more accordingly, especially if we do have to continue some of the procedures in the short term. And that's why in 2021 we may see more cons and events, but it may get into the sense of, hey, the hotel is not liable if you get sick, and if you haven't had the vaccine yet,
you shouldn't go.
Yeah,
that's probably, I'm not going to say early year that's going to happen, but I'm thinking once we hit summer, cons may start appearing again with more liability waivers or requirement of vaccine, because I did see the vaccines, you do get a card.
Well, the reason for the card is because you need a second dose of the same vaccine.
Yeah, but they might be using that to ID, verification that you have gotten a vaccine. And I could see places using that, requiring, a picture of your, that you're up to date on the vaccine
and that,
in order to attend.
And that's going to go into a whole different legal debacle that we're not qualified to talk about, but we can speculate about. And I don't think that a lot of cons are going to do that unless the hotel requires them to.
Which, at the same time, could be a possibility.
See, and that's the thing is...
Especially if convention centers want to avoid liability.
Yeah, but the other thing is for example, I know some of the states are already figuring that, hey, you had the choice of coming here. We're not liable because you made that choice.
Wisconsin to Illinois people coming up north to avoid their quarantine.
And that's why we didn't go to Alpine Valley this last weekend. So that's the other... I didn't mention this to you before, but Illinois people don't like... I'm not calling... If you're an Illinois person, just...
This is directly aimed at you. Please take it as offensively as possible.
I'm not trying to be offensive. They like to not go far from the highway or not drive far out of the state.
All complaints can be delivered to WiffleTech at fluffedup at gmail.com. Or WiffleTech. What's
You don't even know our email address?
No.
You can direct all hate mail at info@fluffedup.us. But the thing is, so like Alpine Valley is very popular. Little Swiss is right off the
41.
interstate. Cascade is super popular with people out of state because it's large,
And
not
it's right
far,
there.
right off the interstate.
You can see it from the highway.
And that's why Grand Geneva is just right across the border.
Yeah. Geneva's always been called the up north of Illinois.
And the thing is the other hills are a little bit more popular this year because Wilmont, which is the closest, is an epic resort. An epic resort, Epics and Icons resorts, you have to have a reservation like 5 months in advance.
Wow, that's weird.
Well, and that's because they're trying to limit how many people are going to the hill.
I guess, yeah.
See, Wilmont is owned by some of the people who own the Colorado resorts, and because they're so popular, they have to follow the same rules.
Oh.
So that's why, like, Little Swiss, yeah, they do limit how many tickets are bought, but season pass holders can still go whenever.
Yeah, season pass holders
But
are
you
like
just
free
have,
game.
But you have to wear masks in line. You have to stay 6 feet apart, wear them inside, and avoid the lodge if all possible.
Yeah.
They got a food truck.
They do have a food
It's
truck.
pretty good, too.
We've never used it.
I've used it once.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Oh.
It's the same type of food that you can get normally upstairs inside.
Probably just hotter.
But because it's food truck, it's
Fresh.
It's got that little bit of like food truck aesthetic that makes it taste better.
Listen, I'll be honest. One of my favorite things with... So, I want to get into kind of a more positive thing for, like, this midsection of it. Positive things that have happened or that we can discuss that have happened during the pandemic. I think one of the first ones was when you were teaching me to ride a motorcycle. We drove down... We were riding around, we drove down to... not Lake Geneva, Economawalk?
Oh, we went to the taco truck.
Yeah, and then we chased a cop car around to see what they were doing.
Yeah, so that was a Tuesday, so it was Taco Tuesday in Oconomowoc.
Yeah. So, of course, Taco Tuesday means the taco trucks are out. So, we drove to a nice rich people town.
Not far away from here at all.
No, it was like 30 minutes of riding a motorcycle, which learning to ride a motorcycle, that's pretty good timing. And we found some taco trucks. So, of course, we pulled over. We parked in the middle of town, wearing masks and everything, and went and got some tacos. Actually, I got quesadillas. You got tacos. And then I think before that, we were riding around kind of figuring out what we wanted to eat. We saw the taco trucks, and we were like, yeah, we'll probably eat tacos.
We'll just pull over here.
But we kept going for a bit, kind of just to see what's all around the outskirts of town, and we saw a cop booking it. So, of course, me and Tech were like, ooh, let's chase it, because there was like a couple going.
Yeah. So we didn't really like follow them. But
We just kind of wanted to know where they went.
We were just kind of like, all right, I think they went this way, so then we turned there and saw them, and we were like, all right, we think they turned here, they went there, and then we were like, all right, well, we kind of lost them, let's go back home.
Then I decided I want to try one more place, and we pulled into a Menards, and we found them all, and they were like surrounding a car.
Yeah, there was a bunch at Menards. Oh yeah, that was Menards. That was like a brand new
Now,
Menards.
there's two ways that could go as well.
Save big money at Menards.
It could either be someone being violent, or rich people cops, not enough things happening, so all the cops go to one thing.
It wasn't a Menards. It was actually a Mills Fleet Farm.
Oh yeah, it was a Fleet Farm.
I had to think about that. I'm like, wait, there was a gas station.
To be fair, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. But that was very enjoyable in an adventuristic sense of, doing something and getting out there. Another positive thing I think is my Twitch streaming career.
Chewy's more popular than me now.
And what do you mean?
More popular than me now.
That's not true.
The only way I exceed is that I have more Twitter followers.
If you want to follow Chewy's Cuz on Twitter, it's Chewy's Cuz everywhere. No, but having all this free time to not go out has given me a lot of days where I'm free to, live stream, and it's helped me build a solid live stream schedule and build a wonderful audience full of really positive and great individuals. I never really realized it until, not recently, but a couple months ago. It's like, wow, I got a really nice group of people.
Welcome to building a community.
Yeah, you know when the culmination finally fits in. Um, on the flip side of that, my YouTube career has been horrible because, man, did I just get depression and stop making videos. Like that hit like a freight train.
See, the thing is, um, there's two different, like a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber is possible. But the issue is you have to be skilled enough to be able to handle both contents.
Yeah.
And like you are able to do it, but Twitch, you're live and spontaneous.
I don't have to edit it really. All that stuff's set up beforehand.
Yeah. Whereas YouTube, you do have to you record it and then you edit it.
Yeah.
And that's where you usually get a lot of people who do one or the other, or occasionally post to YouTube. Now, to be fair, your editor's desktop is currently sitting in pieces in his room, and now you gave me the idea of live streaming that as a chill chat on my phone. But the thing is like I do YouTube, yes, I do it on occasion, but because I've been streaming for work, all the games and stuff, my time on YouTube has been like, all right, I just don't want to have to upload anything. I've played way too much with the back end interface of YouTube to even care right now. So, I mean, like, we're going to get you back up there. But that's just something that will come in due time.
Yeah.
So, content is coming. I remembered I have like 2 Wisconsin adventures that I have already recorded, but I need to edit. So yeah.
Content is hard, especially when like the pandemic kind of saps your motivation.
Yeah, the few positives with 2020 is it gave me opportunities to try newer things.
Yeah.
With the little bit of income that I was able to save.
I've definitely saved a lot of money since, my job hasn't exactly been like changed besides when I did get sick, and now, I'm struggling slightly, but I'm recovering from it. But like that stimulus check.
To be fair,
I was able to build a whole new computer so I was able to stream better.
Yeah, and I was able to pay some bills off. Ooh, adult things on Wolfle Attack.
Who's ready to be able to pay half your rent with the next one?
Is there going to be a next one?
Yeah, $600, which at this point it feels worse than if they didn't give us anything.
I mean, yeah. But the thing is with me, like, I've had a lot of changes this year with costs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, looking at money a different way for sure.
Like, and that's been an interesting insight of how do I get out of debt and stuff.
Yeah.
Because student loans suck. If you're going into college, keep that as a consideration. Something that annoys the heck out of me is I went to Stout. I really loved it there. It was definitely worth the money.
Yeah.
The issue was my younger brother went to a tech school for 2 different things. He's in there for a plumbing apprentice program right now. My older brother went to UW-Madison, who received a lot of endowment money. He only ever had to pay $3 grand.
So who do you have to marry for the endowment money?
You don't have to marry anybody.
Isn't that what that is?
Well, to be no, and the endowment is like
6 camels, right?
What?
6 camels, a cow.
No.
5 goats.
Yeah, you never went to college. You don't know about this.
I went to college, but the fire department paid me to go.
Yeah, but the thing is,
there's a difference.
There is a difference. Well, and that's kind of like what my brother's apprentice is like, yeah, he has to pay for it, but it's subsidized by, like, unions and stuff, or his boss. But the other thing is, like, my older brother John, he endowment money is pretty much when you give money to like the foundation, and they give you grants and stuff.
Yeah,
that's the endowment. Endowment is a reoccurring. Every single year they get this much money out of like this bulk money that they can pay towards like tuition and stuff for people on their behalf. So because of that, he only ever played $3 grand, whereas I had 30 grand.
That's a very huge difference.
So because Stout doesn't have as large of an endowment, so because of that, I have this debt. Plus, also, I had debt from when I was changing between jobs, when I was trying to do job interviews and stuff.
You have the debt of
costs.
being alive.
So the thing is like, but if you budget correctly and are able to withstand, like, are you able to plan things out accordingly and know what your limits are, you're able to accomplish a lot. And that's the, sorry, okay, there we go. That's the other thing is, like, you're able to do that. And this year, some people who, I know there's people to lose their jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
But they did have to start doing some planning and stuff with that. Now, the CARES Act did help somewhat with that, with unemployment, until it ran out.
And then I got COVID.
Well, you should have. How you got screwed over? Everyone else in your household got screwed over, and we've talked about this, and it just.
Remember, your employer is 150% more likely to screw you over than any other coworker trying to steal extra money.
Well, and you want to talk about the funny things of that. So, July 1st, because I work for a school district. Yay! The financial period is July 1st to July 1st. We switched from like a salary position to an hourly. And you want to talk about screwing over your things? Well, when they changed that, all of a sudden, the cost of employment skyrocketed. And they were like, why is this? How workman's comp and stuff? So, like, let's say you were delivering a sandwich and you slipped on ice.
Yeah.
That's technically workman's comp. Would help pay for that because you were injured on the job. Workman's comp only works if you're punched in. Therefore, if I'm hanging a projector and I'm past my hours, I can't just stop and walk away. I have to finish it. But they want me to be there the next day from this time to this time. Well, guess what? I just added extra hours. Even though it wasn't approved, there's not much they can really do about that. So I did get a little bit of a bonus at the beginning of the school year because virtual, deploying all the Chromebooks, 50-hour week, kill me now.
Sometimes I wonder how you make time for anything with everything that's going on with you.
Proper planning, budgeting, and kind of forgetting that Chewy's at Wisconsin Dells and shows up 2 hours later.
Wait, that was way different. That was like 2 years ago.
I know, but we were talking
about... You bring that up a lot.
Well, because we talked about, like, I mentioned that as an example, like, if...
Wiffle-Tech standard time.
When you plan something out time-wise, you plan to do this, and then I do this, then I do this. And I usually plan out my full day if possible, to a point. If I'm over... whenever I came over to your place in a safe manner, we would... I wouldn't plan out like when I'm leaving. Usually, sometime when you're streaming. But
yeah.
But like when we would go do something, I planned for an approximate schedule. But you always should, when you're talking about planning time and stuff, you should always think about what if I had to have something give or something shrink down in time. What's the level of priority? For example, I work from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. High priority, I can't move that at all. After that, I drive over to Chewy's place. And then we go snowboarding. So drive over, about 30-minute drive from work to here. Approximate, let's just say that for math sense. Get here at 5, go snowboarding from 5 until 9. 4 hours. What happens if I get delayed at work? What happens if I get delayed at work?
You die. A boss fight starts.
I change the timing of me arriving snowboarding and the amount of time I'll be able to snowboard. Because that has a hard limit on it.
And then you fight the boss.
And I just deal with... Jeez. Chewy and math is not a good thing. Anyway.
Why would you ever...
Always...
You've heard me try to do math in multiple situations.
I know.
It always ends with people yelling.
But you always adjust...
That's what my dad doesn't talk to me anymore.
But there's a difference between a lot of people is they're like, I wanted to go snowboarding for 4 hours. I changed that to, I want to go snowboarding. Because if I can't do the full 4 hours, am I upset about that?
I'll snowboard till I feel tired or till the place closes. That's usually my way to go about it.
Yes.
That's why I'm not disappointed if we don't have a lot of time. It's like, well, time to tire myself out and do stupid things. Like today, I learned how to spin.
And then Wolfletech is just like,
Well.
does like 4 in a row, and while Chewy's just crashing and sliding down.
To be fair, Wolfletech wasn't doing it on purpose.
I was doing it on purpose. He just doesn't want to admit that I know what he was doing. But anyway, that's the thing, is that's how Wolfletech schedules things, is like, if I have to have something give, what can I give? Am I okay with that?
So, how about that kidney?
It's still there. You haven't smashed it yet. However, we're not going to reference what I said on the hill, but Chewy's not entitled to my kidney, for the record.
Just remember, if he's an available donor and doesn't give me it, you can cancel him over at Wolfletech at everywhere.
Stop. Okay. but honestly, just my timing, my financial planning has definitely improved here in 2020. I'm definitely looking for a roommate in a different place to live next year. Part of that's gonna help with, I do have maybe a very little bit of inheritance, which we'll be able to go for a down payment.
What, you did get an inheritance?
I haven't gotten it yet, but
I didn't know that I didn't think he filled out a will.
Well, that's the thing. Oh, if you ever have experience with if you ever want help with probate, with a death in the family, let me know. It is not a fun process.
I realized that I had to take off work to come visit you.
Well, that was the day of.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay. I told my boss, I'm like, I think I need to go comfort him, and I got off and I drove over and hung out with you for a while.
That was definitely needed and appreciated.
Yeah.
And even my family said that was... Well, that's the thing with Wolfletech right now, is both my brothers, one's married, the other one has a girlfriend, which is pretty much a fiance at this standpoint, it just seems like. I am alone. So by having Chewy there was definitely probably one of the more highlights of the thing, because very traumatic day in the life of Wolfletech.
Yeah.
And that triggered a lot of that occurrence triggered a lot of the financial planning, plus also trying to handle probate, trying to figure out what you're going to do for a memorial, etc. all inside the time of COVID is not something that for the faint of heart. It took myself and my brothers all our extra effort just to get that planned for. But the thing is that experience, did it suck? Yes. But the one thing I get out of issues and stuff like that, I know we're getting close to the time and stuff. Is I'm willing to help others, give others advice if they're ever in a similar situation.
Yeah.
Just to make everyone's life easier. Even if you're right now turning 18 next week.
Which, if that's the case, happy birthday.
Save up $200, talk to a lawyer, get a will. Doesn't matter. You could just say everything goes to the next living parent, and hello, pager.
Okay. And we're back.
I've got to do a cut there, don't I?
Yep. So my pager went off because it's 6 o'clock on a Sunday, which is when they do their tests.
It's actually a very common thing, but yeah, so if you guys ever just need advice with something like a death of a family or something, just feel free to message me on like Telegram, Twitter, etc. And just have a will. A will it's not a magic like end all be all thing, but it pushes a lot of things in the right directions.
I technically don't have a will.
So I don't either right now. But here's the thing.
I can just write on a piece of paper, whoever defeats me can have everything.
This isn't Scott Pilgrim versus the world here. A few things to keep in mind.
It's like boss loot.
And this is something that, especially furries listening to this, I hope it's furries listening to this.
You need to pick who your fursuits go to when you die.
Exactly. Right now, since you're married to Scarlett,
there's actually something that's happened about this recently.
Scarlett gets them
because of the spouse.
By default. But if you're both deceased in the process,
they go to auction.
It gets complicated from there. And a will can fix that because if you said like it goes to XYZ person for decision, if you're going to do something like that, I would also recommend giving them a little bit of money so they can use it for taxes purposes. But
there's actually a story about this that's been going around recently of a fursuit that popped up on Furby because it was going to general auction because the person who owned it died. And there was nothing about who it would go to.
See, and that's the thing is your final...
So it went to audit.
See, and that's what happens is... there's this thing called final expenses. Mm-hmm. Which, if you have a credit card, they want their money. If you have, like, your rent and stuff, they want their money. Utilities want their money. They will want their money, and they'll get it. Or it goes to your landlord, and that's a different story. But
oh, God.
Yeah, but the thing is technically... your fursuits are an asset.
Which is interesting because technically they aren't valued at a lot. It depends on who's doing the valuing.
That's the thing, though. It has some value, though. And that's why a will is also very important.
That's why the Nissan Skyline, if you take it to a lot of places, it's not worth a lot. You take it to some private collectors, it's worth a lot of money. Because for some reason the Skyline is a very, valuable drift car.
Yeah, but... that's the thing.
Never understood that.
Like, right now, like, if this is a hypothetical. Mm-hmm. If I passed away, if my stuff will go towards final expenses of whatever. Yeah. That means selling your car, selling, if you have a house or other place, you sell that, truck, whatever. Anything that has value, including your desktop, would go through like an estate sale.
Yeah.
Because it's the estate of that, and someone has to manage that, and that's the process called probate. And that takes 9 months, COVID or not, to do, which sucks. It's grueling, and there's a lot of tears in the process. But if you have a will, you can cut that in half. Because... then you don't want Kylo sold to some random who's just gonna fuck. Yeah. Well, if I say fuck 2020.
well, yeah. Then that's one of those things. It's like, especially if you own fursuits or you're a furry, make sure you have somebody who your characters or something go to after you die, even if you don't plan on dying. That's definitely something that you do need to think about.
And this is something like no one ever wants to talk about. And this is why I'm kind of bringing it up. Is like stuff happens.
Yeah.
And you just can't control it sometimes. So because of that, you might as well prepare. Now, I'm not saying prepare yourself, but if you have something on record and if it's found, it makes the process a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, it definitely makes
Even if it
everything better.
means, Chewy, you are in charge of Wolfotech's stuff. You're going to throw half of it out because I know you.
I don't know what to do with these things. Why was Wolfotech collecting these? This is a lot of boxes.
The fursuit will go be an honor somewhere. My computer will literally be in boat anchor for your computer because
I don't even know what I'd use with your
because
godforsaken
it's so
computer.
heavy.
It's a very expensive paperweight.
And Chewy will just keep my microphone that he's currently using.
Cool, I got that other mixer back.
But that's the thing is like it's something that you never want to think about. But
Why is it every time I use this mixer, I hear Wolfotech call me a dumbass?
turns it on channel 16, it's just a recording of Chewy. Turn it off.
Wolfotech haunts the mixer.
But that's gonna be my thing for 2021. Is
Wolfotech haunting the mixer?
No.
Yes.
No, but I have the
Yes.
ability to. I will put a virus on your computer. That I'll forget, and then I'll haunt you forever until you get a different computer.
All that inheritance money I can get from selling your knickknacks.
Oh, jeez. But the thing is I'm going to be pushing that in 2021 because, and it is a very specific to your state type of thing. Wisconsin, you don't need you need specifically 2 material witnesses. For example, remember when I signed the papers to get you guys married?
Yes.
You need to have 2 witnesses? Mm-hmm. That's a very common thing in Wisconsin. I'm not family, and I witnessed your thing. That's how we were able to do that. It's the same thing, literally, with a will.
Yeah.
Because the weird thing about this is when I was going through probate, through the lawyer, my mother was also, because my family's divorced, my mother was going through the same lawyer to set up the will and the final wishes, etc. So I have, through one lawyer, have had, this is something I joke about with, I'm not going to say the lawyer's name, this lawyer's name, with this lawyer is, I'm probably a rare statistic with inside your guys' circle of one side of the family is going through probate while the other side of the family is setting up the proper procedures.
Lawyer stuff is weird. But anyways, I think we're hitting the end of this. So with that morbid thing out of the way, get a will. Don't die young. Make sure someone will inherit your fursuit when you move on.
And make sure that 2020 is going to be the best it can. I don't know if we're going to do another podcast before the end of the year. So happy holidays. Happy New Year. Feliz cumpleaños a ti.
Happy Hanukkah.
I don't know if we're going to do another one before my birthday. So that's why I said in Spanish, happy birthday to me.
Merry Kwanzaa.
I said happy birthday to you, but whatever. But anyway.
Good night.
Bye. Outro. Da 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 da.
I feel like that was wrong too.
No, the outro is da 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 da.
Oh, that's the one I'm used to.
Da 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 da.